250 years ago today, 56 men challenged the history of mankind by declaring that ordinary men, not born to power or privilege, had the authority to govern themselves. Before that moment, the story of mankind was largely a story of masters and servants, of kings and subjects, where power was determined almost entirely by bloodline and birthright. This radical new idea would have gotten all of them hanged for treason, but the colonies and colonists came together from all walks of life. Farmers, merchants, landowners, sailors, and carpenters all stood as one. And after years of bitter fighting, the colonists came out victorious. Just 7 years after the Declaration of Independence, their idea was formally accepted by the most powerful empire on the planet when Great Britain signed the Treaty of Paris and recognized the United States as a free and independent nation. Winning the war, however, was just the first step. The true test was proving that a nation of free men could actually build a prosperous society. Just 11 years after that revolutionary declaration, a new gathering of brilliant minds assembled, joined by a dedicated few of those original 1776 signers. After months of fierce debate, our founding fathers formulated perhaps the most important document in the history of mankind, the United States Constitution. This new model of government was not based on race, religion, or birthright, but on individual liberty, protected by the rule of law. A radical departure from nearly every other system of power that had come before it. However, humanity is not perfect, and the United States never was. Not everyone in the United States was given the chance to live in this idealistic republic written in the Constitution. Millions remained enslaved, women had no voice in government, and the promise on paper was still generations away from becoming a reality. Yet, the people who resided in the United States have always taken steps to expand the personal liberty that was promised to them. The true genius of the American experiment was that its people could self-correct and become better than they once were. Roughly 80 years after the Constitution was signed, the nation faced its ultimate trial. Unresolved tensions over states' rights, and, in particular, slavery, plunged the country into a brutal, years-long civil war that would see over 750,000 people lose their lives. The deadliest conflict in American history. In the middle of the war in 1863, Abraham Lincoln began a decades-long correction of one of the most major contradictions of the nation. He issued the Emancipation Proclamation, freeing the enslaved people in the rebelling states. By the war's end in 1865, the 13th Amendment had abolished slavery outright. What emerged was a new republic that had eliminated one of its founding sins. In the coming years, American ingenuity and ambition would connect the East and West via the Transcontinental Railroad, completing Manifest Destiny. In 1898, the US grew from an isolated republic into a global power when it acquired its first overseas territories after winning the Spanish-American War. And in 1917, the US would formally get involved in the largest war in human history at the time. Just 25 years later, they would liberate the world in the greatest conflict humanity ever fought. From there, Americans looked inward, expanding the liberty promised in the Constitution. The nation pushed closer to its founding ideals by outlawing discrimination based on race, color, religion, sex, or national origin. Although never perfect, America proved once again that it could adapt and grow. And finally, in 1969, the American spirit proved it could not be contained to the earth. During the height of the Cold War with the Soviet Union, the United States became the first country in human history to put a man on the moon. It was the ultimate proof that a country built by ordinary men could achieve extraordinary prosperity. From just 13 British colonies, the Founding Fathers built a country that would become the most powerful nation to ever grace the earth.